I have never done this before, ever in my life. We got Gix. I think we're going to do this. Let's go ahead and pay 4. We get all these cards for free. We get an Atali, a Cruelty of Gix with the Gixes. Okay, that is absolutely wonderful. We get the Cruelty of Gix with our Gix Yawgmoth Praetor, and that is just poetic justice. So, ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode with Man to Man, and today we've got a juicer for you. Before we get into the deck, make sure to leave a like. The button looks just like this, and it helps out the channel tremendously. I greatly appreciate it. But let's dive right in. We got the Faerie comeback. So, Faeries, I'm not ready to give up on it. I still think that it's, you know, obviously not going to be like more meta, higher win rate than Mono Red or Boros or anything like that, but I still think that it's a very playable deck and it can kind of hang in there with the meta. So let's just try to see what we can do. We got the Sleep-Cursed Faerie, of course. We got, this thing is pretty underrated. It is what War 2. And I remember when Faeries first like were revealed, it was like supposed to be like the new rogue. So like the Mire, like tempo-y type of stuff. So obviously we do curve out at 3, being that we are a tempo deck. We got the Gix and the Kaito Shizuki because this is just like a draw, and these are legendary, so we can't really run 4 of any one. So running 2 of each as a draw engine feels pretty good. So how are we going to make this better than the previous iterations? Well, we do have a little bit of Ixalan sprinkled in with the Deep-Cavern Bat. Now, this is a bat, this is not a fairy, but, you know, it's still fairies at heart. So this card's really, really awesome. I mean, obviously, you just get to snag a card. This kind of reminds me of the brain worm maggot thingy, I think it was called back in the day. Either way, it is really, really awesome, and the lifelink does matter a lot versus a lot of different types of decks. I got the Faerie Mastermind. A lot of cards do want to draw. Like, there's a lot of Connive, there's the Beanstalk, there's just a lot of draw in general. So I really do like the Faerie Mastermind, Glissa, etc., etc. So I didn't run Faerie Mastermind in my other Fairy deck, but I think in this brew, we are going to play it. Malcolm, Alluring, Scoundrel, some more Ixalan fun. Again, these are just like, it's a little silver bullet, as well as Dreaming Duelist, because legendary creatures that fly typically linger, so I don't really like having more than one because it can kind of clog you up, but I really do like Malcolm and the Dreaming Duelist, and obviously we got 4 Faerie Fencing because it is pretty much the most efficient removal. It does get around Felden, doesn't deal damage, so there is a lot of cute stuff like that, and the Dreamthief. I did think about running the Schooner, but because it's only a crew 1 and the Dreamthief does go very, very well with it, but ultimately with the Sleep-Cursed Faerie, it does come in tapped. So I don't really love the Schooner for that reason, so we're gonna have to say no to that. But other than that, we just got the Ego Drain, we got the Cut Down, and with the Kaito, you can kind of discard if Cut Down isn't doing it for you. If it's a little bit cloggy, we've got ways to discard with Malcolm, Kaito, Gix can draw us cards, but this is pretty much the deck. I am not ready to give up on Fairies. We're gonna give it one more run and just see if we can kind of hang in there. But that's pretty much the deck. Consider joining the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. You'd be helping me out, and get ready to subscribe if you have not already. And without further ado, let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Joe the Dumber, how we doing here? All right, let's go ahead and keep this. Got the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. I am not giving up on Fairies. Hopefully you don't as well. So let's see what you got, Joey. Good old Joe the Dumber. Don't be too dumb. I know you're not dumb enough to keep me roping on the first match here. Come on, there's no way, Joe. A little hello? A little hello? Joe? There we go. Okay, so I actually did not even see that part. They actually had a mulligan as well. So we give them a hello, are you still playing hello? And also the friendly mulligan hello, because everybody needs a friend when you take a mulligan, because those things suck. So get a little bit of Floody here, which is not the greatest thing ever, but the Sleep-Cursed Faerie we don't really hate. If they do go in, because I'm assuming this is a Traxa, those are really the only decks that really dominantly run, especially Zayatora's Lounge, unless it's like True Drund, which, let's just face it, you don't see a whole lot anymore, but it's okay. No big deal. We will, whatever they throw out, we will take care of it. So let's say, even if they did go for the Vine Stalk here, the Faerie Mastermind is actually really, really good, because then they draw, and then we just get the draw, and it's a good time. So we're going to hold up these cut downs. Most likely it's not going to matter. So Celestis, okie dokie. That could be an issue because it might have to go nighttime, so I'm not going to cut down my own thing. So that's kind of unfortunate. But we will be able to... Ooh, another land. Pretty brutal here. We at least are going to swing in for 5. And that kind of sucks though. But it is what it is. The Celestis does go through, which is going to kind of help us out a little bit. We can go for Faerie Mastermind and actually have them draw yet another card. But these cut downs here are not looking good. So we do get the draw, which is of course beautiful. Deep-Cavern Bat can make a lot of use, but if they have Sunfall, not going to be looking good here. Sunset Revelry, actually pretty good, considering that we do have 2 cut downs. That doesn't... Oh, and a Wedding Announcement, so this is actually looking pretty good. Okay. Okay, I don't really know what we're playing against then. I was assuming this is going to be a Traxa, but it's got to be the Atraxa deck, right? But, okay. Either way, I'm just going to cut down what we can. Let's just go ahead and... It feels kind of weird, just cutting... It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel weird. It just feels... I I don't play a whole lot of cut down decks, but I think this is probably the best way to do it. So yeah, Celestis is going to go ahead and give them another draw. Now, this one is kind of unfortunate because it's not really on their turn, so they're not drawing another card. So the Faerie Mastermind doesn't use like that. And if we go for the Deep-Cavern Bat, we're not going to be able to use Faerie Mastermind to get the 2 card draws. So a little awkward here. So double a Sushi the Blazing Sky. That is so interesting. Okay, I don't know what we're playing against, but I dig it. Okay, let's go get rid of Sunset Revelry. If they have double a Sushi, they just have double a Sushi, so I guess we're just going to swing in here. Okay, 14 to 20, still have a cut down. Can't cut down the Atsushi, but yeah, I'm a little confused. So, I guess this is going to be 4 color? I'm just waiting for the 5th color, being green. Okay, I guess, well, let's do this. We have a Sleep-Cursed Faerie. We're going to be able to do this. If they have any sort of weird tricks, we still have another cut down. And, okay, looking good. That works for me. They don't get the benefit of, like, a card draw, because they're only swinging with 1. Wedding Announcement does that, and we cut down the last token here. So, looking pretty good here. Now, unfortunately, kind of sitting a little awkward here. I'm not going to swing in. We have Gix, which is actually kind of nice. If we do... This actually could be pretty good. If we go for Gix here, we got the Underground River. Can't really do anything else, though. So I think we just kind of sit here awkwardly, and we're just staring at this blazing sky, setting our world ablaze, but we're not out of this yet. Like, I mean, again, because this is a very, very neat deck. I've never seen anything like it, which is awesome. I love playing against new stuff, so hopefully they give us something cool. Sadistic Pilgrim. Okay, so this is like... It's looking like Mardu. Have they played a blue card yet? I don't, think so. Okay, not a whole lot we can do here. Because we go for Gix, we don't really go for the Faerie Mastermind. But they go for Celestis. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, we do get the Faerie Mastermind this way, so I don't really know why they would do that. I guess they don't really care. They're paying absolutely no respect to our Faerie Mastermind. Okay. So now we've got 2 forms of thing. I think we're gonna go for the should we go for Ego Drain first or the Cavern Bat? I don't think it matters a whole lot. I guess we go for Ego Drain first. So Sheldred and a Make Disappear. I guess we'll get rid of... Does it really matter? We're going for a Cavern Bat anyway. Again, leaving our... I guess that leaves our Mastermind. Do we want to go for the Mastermind draw? I think we kind of do, because with Gix, I have never done the 7 activated ability for Gix. I've never done that, ever. So if we can do that, I think that might be the way to do it. That might be a pretty might be a pretty gosh darn stall breaker. So I don't really have anything for the Make Disappear. I'd rather go for the Faerie Mastermind here. I think Faerie Mastermind at their end step is a little stronger because we do get to draw 2 this way, whereas they only get to draw 1. Feels pretty good. Get an Ego Drain and another land. And God, a double Darkslick Shores. We love alliteration on our channel, remember that. But can't go in for the Gix here, so I guess we'll just go for the Ego Drain. We might have to put that on rocks. It is just not very likely or realistic that we go for Gix. Maybe next turn, just depending on what they have here, but we'll see. Make Disappear, but I can still pay this. It does kind of ward off the Mastermind, but I can still pay this, so... I guess we'll resolve. I mean, yeah, I can pay this. I guess we will, right? Why are they doing this? Are they that worried? Okay, I guess so. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and pay this. Let's take a look what you got here. There's an Owl of the Dawn Sky. Yeah, I guess we wouldn't really appreciate staring down an Owl of the Dawn Sky, but then that kind of makes me wonder, why do they not play it? So that's a little bit weird. So Celestis goes off again. This is very interesting. Is this just like a Kamigawa Dragon deck? I mean, I'm a big fan. Faerie Mastermind goes off again. So the Celestis is actually doing a little bit of harm to them. But now I think here's what we're looking for. We have Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor, and unless they have some form of disruption, we're looking pretty good here. I think we're not going to drop any land. Let's not drop any land here. Let's go for Gix. And I think this is it. I have never done this before, ever in my life. We got Gix. I think we're going to do this. Let's go ahead and pay 4. We got 4 cards in our hand. First time ever being able to drop the Gix Yawgmoth Praetor's ability. And we just get the whole shebang here. Let's go for the whole hand. No disruption, no nothing. looking good. And Gix is going to steal 4 cards off the top of their deck. And let's see what we get. We get all these cards for free. We get an Atali, a Cruelty of Gix with the Gix's. Okay, that is absolutely wonderful. We get the Cruelty of Gix with our Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. And that is just poetic justice. So I guess we're going to go for the throat. I guess if we give them a treasure tokens, I guess this is not that big of a deal. I'd still rather kill it. We do get a land as well, so I guess now we got white and red to kind of join the party. We're also 4 color now, I guess technically. So it's Sushi, Blazing Sky, Sadistic Pilgrim. What else we got here? What is this? I still have no idea what we're playing here. I don't really care. I guess we'll go for the Cruelty of Gix, and we are so cruel, because we have with Gix. But let's go ahead and do this. I'm not gonna, well, should we read ahead? I guess we could snag something from the graveyard, but I guess there's really no need to. Let's go for that. And of course, we're gonna get our lovely Atali. So Cruelty of Gix, let's take a look at what they have in their hand. It's a go for the throat, which I don't love, but with the Atali, we still get these triggers. And this is just great. This is just great. Junji, the Midnight Sky. We're going to take one of their own Kamigawa dragons for them, and they've had enough. That was pretty sick. Suki, how we doing here? I don't really love the Shipwreck Marsh. It's going to make our turn 2 a little bit awkward, but it is what it is. Well, our opponent Suki is going to take a mulligan, so let's go ahead and give them the friendly mulligan hello. Everybody needs a friend when you take a mulligan, because those things suck. But okay, let's see. I don't know. Do I want to go for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie, or do I want to go for the Siren? I don't know. We'll see here. All right, I'm going to go, let's go for the Siren. I guess using the map token to get a land, kind of probably a little bit more, probably a little bit better. I would like, I know we'd lose a counter on the Sleep-Cursed Faerie this way, but it is what it is. So, fingers crossed. Okay, thankfully we do get a Shipwreck Marsh, so that is kind of nice. We will still be able to drop that, but now next turn, we're going to end the awkwardness. No more awkwardness, we're going to drop it, so. And again, because this is not like an all-out aggro deck, I know that we put less damage on the board, but going for Sleep-Cursed Faerie turn 1 when we need land, maybe we should just mulligan it all together, but I don't think that's the way to do it. I really don't. So again, we want to kind of control the board. We are a tempo deck, but this isn't mono red. We're not just trying to get Sleep-Cursed Faerie to untap as fast as humanly possible, which would be nice, but I still think that we're going to take the driver's seat here. I was kind of hoping they'd go for the Beanstalk, just because the Beanstalk, when they draw a card, we flash in Faerie Mastermind, and then we get another draw off the top. That is pretty much like the best sequence in my opinion, but this is okay too. As long as we have 2 Spell Stutters, we can pretty much lock them out of dropping like the Sunfall, which you know they always have, which is fine with me, because we're prepared for it. Alright, I'm going to go for the Spyglass Siren, and I'm not going to use the map token. We got to hold up the Spell Stutter. But if they don't go for anything super crazy, I'm completely okay with just going for another Faerie Mastermind and just going Death by Fairies. That sounds pretty fun. And eventually we will be able to unlock our Sleep-Cursed Faerie and awake from the slumber. But let's go for Herd Migration, not a big deal. The life gain, If I didn't have 2 Spell Stutters here, I'd be a little bit more nervous. But nah, we're not nervous. Are we nervous? We're not nervous. We got everything that we could ever have, and we don't care about a little token either. Alright, so let's get rid of that revealed card, kind of ugly. Topiary Stomper, I'm going to let this resolve. I don't think I really care that much. Whatever they put in is not going to allow them to attack, so we're still going to be out racing them, outspeeding them, so absolutely not caring about that. Comes in tapped. I think we're just going to go in for the Faerie Mastermind. Alright, yeah, let's go for the Faerie Mastermind, and no interaction, no nothing, and now we got a Deep-Cavern Bat. I really wish I had another land, just so that we could go for the bat as well, but at this point, that is a lot of damage on the board, so I think we only have 2 drops in our hand. I missed a little bit of damage here, so we could have went for the map token, so that's a little bit of an oopsie. That could end up biting us in the butt, but Dreamthief will go ahead and put that away, just because we can get the Surveil off on the hunt for another land. So we miss out on a little bit of damage, doesn't feel good, no, but the Spell Stutters, I think, are going to be what we need here. Missing damage just never feels good, but like I said, I don't think it's gonna be that big of an oopsie. Hopefully, fingers crossed, or else I'm gonna look really stupid. So Sunfall, there we go. Spell Stutter, we'll get that out of here, and we still have 1 left in the chamber, so looking pretty good. And this is the most fortunate part about playing, obviously, like blue or like counters or that kind of stuff here, is we get counter spells. I wish I had another land just so we can untap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie a little bit more comfortably, but nevertheless, we're going to get them down to 5, and we're still going to hold up a Spell Stutter with another Siren to boot, so I think we pretty much are going to take this. Whatever they have, I don't think they're going to be able to pass through. They don't have enough mana to really do anything. The Sirens are not fairies, but they fly. They're kind of fairy-like. They can kind of roll with the fairies for this game. Let's see, whatever you got here, we're just going to hold the Spell Stutter, and we're going to pretty much look good here. Archangel of Wrath, they're going to totally tap out when we say absolutely no way. That should do it. They have one more mana that can kind of bust open here with this little artifact, the little treasure, and they do actually, with the Leyline Binding, but that should not matter. Our Sleep-Cursed Faerie should awaken from the slumber, and that's going to be enough to do it. We still have plenty of damage, and Untapped Land is not going to do it. Looking good. Yeah, just come right through. Come right through. Party of two. Me and you. Come right through, baby. There's our land. Let's go ahead and just use the map token for fun. Let's put it on our Sleep-Cursed Faerie since we were so patient for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Don't get the buff of stat, but nah, -4 is good as gold. Cronies Unite. What is that reference to? I don't know, but either Cronies Unite. What is it? Cronies? Either way, I'm not here to figure it out. We're here to drop the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. In the last match, we kind of didn't get the Sleep-Cursed Faerie going early, so let's just go ahead and do this. We got this Shipwreck Marsh. Don't really know what we're playing, but we can definitely go for an Ego Drain if need be. The only problem is here, we don't draw into our second land, and the Faerie Dreamthief, we're on the hunt for another land. Don't want to go for the Ego Drain just yet. I don't know if we're playing against Golgari or something else, but I think we can kind of afford to just drop down our damage. We are on the play after all, so let's go ahead and just swing in here. Let's go for the Deep-Cavern Bat. Of course, if they have Virtue of Loyalty, I think they would have probably played it on the Dreamthief. But if not, okay, go for the throw. Not a big deal here. So we do get the peek at their hand. Okay, so Sentinel of the Lost Lore and a Gix. Okay, interesting. So this thing is pretty interesting just because it has like the virtue of persistence, and then what's the other thing? There's the Mosswood Dread Knight. They can use that to get it back. So that's actually a pretty cool deck. Okay, still don't have our third land, which is pretty brutal. Don't really think they have any like extra card draw because the Explorer technically does not card draw. So the Mastermind is really not going to be the I think we're just going to go for the Cavern Bat because at some point they're going to start swinging in. And I think we might just be racing here. So let's go ahead and take away the Gix. Let's alleviate them from your Gix. Take it away. And I think this might be where we kind of get ahead of them a little bit. So this kind of sucks, but with the bat and the lifelink, I think that's an okay enough strategy. The cut down's not looking very good. Looking like there's not going to be any like viable targets with it. There's the Virtue of Persistence. Now I'm getting nervous. So now they get their Gix's command back, and they can always snatch it back with that. Now, especially, I think that's how it works though. If I use the bat to exile, I think they can use the lore thingy to get their creature back, even though I exiled it with the bat. I'm pretty sure they can do that. So I was kind of expecting that, but removal's cool too. So now we kind of don't have to worry about that. And I got a 4/5er. I guess we might as well just Ego Drain and get rid of this Gix's command. I do not want them to have that at all. And we can still go for the fencing if they drop something else. And I think we're probably going to swing in here. I'm definitely not chump blocking. I think we're okay here. I think we're okay. With the Faerie Fencing, I mean, that eventually will be able to use that. Maybe I should have chump blocked with the Dreamthief. With the Dreamthief, we don't have 3. I'm going to now. There we go. So now that they use the map token, I think I'm a little bit more incentivized to do it, even though they didn't get their counter. A lot of moving parts here. I definitely need to get into another land. That is going to be the #1 thing here. So Sentinel of Lost Lore, they're going to snag back the Virtue of Persistence, and that, I don't really care about the graveyard removal. That's not that big of a deal. And gosh, man, I really wish we could snag a little something here. So if we go for the Deep-Cavern Bat, maybe, I guess we'll just take the Virtue of Persistence, but they're going to be able to use the Sentinel here to snag back their Virtue, because it's technically exiled. I'm pretty sure they can just snag it back. Yeah, they get it. I'm pretty sure, right? Let's see if they're like aware of that. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Oh my God, that's just gonna do it. Yeah, there's just gonna be no way. Let's go ahead and give them a cheers. Good combo. Anzo0708, how you doing here? All right, looking pretty good. Turn 1, probably just gonna go for the Shipwreck Marsh. Yeah, definitely. That's our only blue source, so we might as well just get it down, get it over with. All right, got the Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel. Definitely like that. So the Iron Crag. Don't know what we're playing against here completely, but if we drop the bat, we'll be able to just take a look. Overall, I think we're gonna go for Malcolm. I mean, this could also be like sirens and bats, just because I did not even really notice that, but this is actually a siren as well as our other little siren. Edict, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So what do we want to do? Oh, Kaito. Actually, we're just going to go straight in for Kaito. Kaito is going to be just like the best 3-drop, especially if we're on the play. Kaito's very cool. And you know what? I don't see a whole lot of Kaito anymore, and it feels weird. Has standard been Brotherhood? Well, we phased out, so we do not lose our Kaito. So that was actually a very, very expensive Brotherhood just for a little 1/1. So, I mean, that's okay with me, I guess. Well, let's go ahead and draw a card, and just before we see what we're doing here, I guess we'll go ahead and get rid of the cut down. If I'm not going to be playing any little creatures, I guess we'll just do that. So let's go for Sleep-Cursed Faerie. This is a little scary, just because I don't know exactly what they have, but we're not going to go for Gix just yet, so okay. Well, if we have the Deep-Cavern Bat, they can just kind of go for the throat, so kind of have to be aware of that. Let's get rid of Burn Down the House. I don't really want them to clear us out. They give us a nice. Let's go for the throat just because they can just kind of steal it back anyway, so whatever. And we'll go ahead and give them a cheers. This is for the thank you. I like to do the cheers to you, my friend. Alright, so Shelly, not great here. We do have the Ego Drain, but I'm not really in love with the Shelly here. If we go for... Well, the Ego Drain's not really that great right now. I guess we'll go for Gix, and this is going to be a little rough here. I am going to swing in. We do get that lifelink, which is going to be kind of nice, because we're going to take a wallop here. Yeah, Sheldred and Kaito here. Yeah, I know it sucks. We're going to lose 2 life for the Shellys, but I think we're just going to have to. And I'm actually going to go for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie and the Ego Drain rather than hold up Spell Stutter, because they don't have enough mana to really cast it anyway, so the Spell Stutter is kind of whatever. We'll just go for, I guess, the Atali. It's the same difference, whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, swinging on in. I think we're just going to let them have it. It does suck, but I kind of need Gix for the life, not the life, I'm not getting a life off of that, that's for sure. Faerie Fencing, okay, that's actually pretty gosh darn good. Faerie Fencing, we get the -3, because we own a Fairy, obviously. We own 2 of them, and they have Ward, so I'm not too worried about that. And actually, Ego Drain is a little bit different than the Fencing. Ego Drain, you need it to, as it resolves, you need it. But the Faerie Fencing is as you cast it, if you notice that. It's a little weird. But let's go for Gix here. I think I am just going to keep drawing. And this is a little greedy. I know this is a little greedy. But we do have lifelink, and we do have a way to kill the Sheldred. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Am I stupid? Am I not properly caffeinated enough? Why did I should have went for the Fencing before I drew. I don't know. I'm pretty stupid there. Okay, well, let's go for the Spell Stutter. I know this leaves them open, but they're still ways away from being able to go for Breach of the Multiverse. And I guess it's now better. I don't know what I was thinking. I just lost a lot of life. Let them gain life, too. That was really, really sloppy, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go for the Deep-Cavern Bat here. And the sloppy play doesn't matter. Cool. Midgelon, how we doing here? This is, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Yeah, it's not a good hand. Let's keep this, and then we just get rid of a land, I guess. We don't actually need a ton of land, being that this is a... No, it's Fairies. It's Fairies, it's a tempo deck. And I remember when this deck first came out, I thought this was going to be like the new Rogues, because Rogues was actually like really, really good, whereas Fairies just kind of fell flat on their face. But Invasion of Gobakon, let's see. I would assume they just get rid of the Kaito, but I don't know. Maybe they get rid of the Fencing. Yep, get rid of the lovely Kaito, which is fine. I think we're just going to go for the Faerie Dreamthief. I would kind of like to get into another land. Ooh, Ego Drain's actually decent, but I think we're going to just lean towards the land here. I still think, even though cut down, that's kind of a risky move, but again, I don't know what we're playing against. We could just be going against like Orzhov Control. So I guess we're... Oh, Esper. Okay. Let's go ahead and drop the Darkslick Shores. I really wish I had a Kaito, but we do not. Can't go for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie either, because we still have a counter on it, but next turn, we can start the fun. And now we got a Stutter, and we got some removal. I think we're looking okay. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I know they're kind of playing with their hand here, which makes me a little nervous, but they can't really do anything to our Sleep-Cursed Faerie because of the ward, so we're good there. Cut down... Well, let's just swing in. Let's see if they have the Emperor. If they have the Emperor, I think we're just going to spell... Ooh, Malcolm. Well, Malcolm's actually pretty good. We can actually just cut this thing down. Yeah, let's just cut this down, just in case they have, like, you know, Sheldred. We're going to need the Faerie Fencing to be able to do that. And I cut down. I think this is fine. I don't want to really use my Spell Stutter to save my Dreamthief. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I'm completely okay with this. Still have the Spell Stutter. And the Fencing is revealed, so they actually know that. can counter a Sunfall. You know they always have the Sunfall, but they don't see our counter spell. They just know that we have a fencing. So there's always that. So I'm looking pretty good if that's what they were thinking. Or are they going to go in for the Restless Fortress or one of these like anchorages? They are. They're going to go for the anchorage, and this is not smart. Are they looking to swing in? Because it is tempting to go for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. I'm just going to do this. I know we could untap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. I don't know. I mean, well, we could have, but I don't really want to give him a map token, I guess. I guess this is like less risky. I don't know. But I think they were planning on swinging in, so maybe I should have just gone for the Faerie, because they need to attack before they get the map token, so it wouldn't have even been able to get to a 3-4. And now they have the Shelly, which we're going to have to use the Spell Stutter on. So maybe our entire sequencing... I feel like I've played really, really bad this whole video, but despite our mistakes, we're still going to be okay. I'm going to let this resolve, and I'm going to tell you why, because I'm still nervous that they have something else, and I kind of want to get into this Kaito. Why not? I think this may have been the sloppiest matches I've ever played, but I don't care. We're gonna persevere. We got the Deep-Cavern Bat with the lifelink, so maybe that offsets Shelly a little bit. Going for the throw. So they're not gonna be running sleepers here, especially if they're running attackers. So I think we'll swing in with you, and maybe we chump block the Dreamthief, just because we can make use of the Dreamthief later. I guess we can kind of block them out with the Goba combo. You know what? Let's just do it. They have 6 life. Shelly. As of right now, they're looking... I don't know. I don't think they're looking that great. I mean, even an Urtai is not that good. The Shelly's okay. So they're effectively in top deck mode, and this is not that big of a deal. They're just going to get a +1/+1 counter on their Shelly. That's not that big of a deal. Okay. They can just give it indestructible, but they already have another Shelly anyway. Oh, a Deep-Cavern Bat. Oh. I guess I have to kind of Spell Stutter this. Because I can't swing in with my own bat that way. That is gross, but I'm gonna have to. I think I have to use it, right? Yeah, I think we made a good choice there. So we got another Deep-Cavern Bat, which is nice. So this Gix is a little bit of a catch-22. So if we drop this, we're gonna take a lot of life. But I think we just kind of have to. I think we just have to. So we can deal 5. Maybe keep the Dreamthief back, or maybe not. I guess not, because I am gonna at least draw once. Maybe twice. I guess we'll leave you back just so that we can maybe chump block the Shelly. Just because this is going to be like kind of a battle for the life. I'm not going to want to block with the Gix either. So let's draw you. Lose 2 life. And I guess we're going to take 1 more. Drop you, and we can go for Deep-Cavern Bat and then get rid of the Urtai. I think that's actually pretty good. And now they're just kind of sitting here with another Shelly, and I mean, it's as good as gone because they already have a Shelly, so they're pretty much in top deck mode. I think the worst thing that we could see right now would be like a Rafine. No way! No, okay, no way! Ooh, no way! No way! I just called it too. Oh gosh, I just said it. Like, the worst thing that we can see is a Rafine because it flies, it has a lot of toughness. Oh my gosh, if they don't draw that, I think we just like auto win. I'm not joking you. Now we gotta sweat. We can still go for Kaito, but now this is like, this became a sweat. Oh my god. I can't swing with the bats now either, because now they have the Rafine to block. So these Cavern Bats, despite having lifelink, are kind of dead. The Ego Drain, let's give them a thinking here. The Ego Drain does not do anything. Faerie Mastermind can kind of like block out their Connive a little bit. So like we can draw another card off of the Rafine, but like I said, the Faerie Mastermind, we draw more cards, the Shelly hits us. I cannot believe it. I was going to say the only card they could really have, other than like I guess like a sweeper, but like a Rafine. I guess we're just gonna have to pass. I don't think we can swing in. I think I'm gonna flash in the Faerie Mastermind. So Danik, we can. Maybe we should go for Kaito, but the Kaito just doesn't do anything. We can just create something that can't block, but it's a 1/1. They gain more life than that from the Shelly anyway. So I think we're gonna flash in this Faerie Mastermind. We're in just like this weirdest pickly gridlock situation. A Malcolm also does not really help that either, and we also go down to 5. The Deep-Cavern Bats are completely nullified. I think we're on lockdown. If we swing in with everything, we can't because they have the Danik with lifelink now. Bats are useless. Dreamthief's useless. It's a little hard to see. I guess it's like right by my mic. I know it's a little bit hard to see past a certain point once I go wide. But we have the 3/3 Faerie, the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. We just bounce off the Raffine though. So if we swing all, we can do what, a maximum of 3 damage? If we swing it, yeah, I don't, man. I feel like I've just been like stuttering this whole match since they've dropped their Raffine. I even knew it too. I was like, if they just no Raffine, I don't think I can swing in with the Go for the Throat, because if they block the Deep-Cavern Bat with the Go for the Throat, 2, 3, that's still not lethal. So they can block the Cavern Bat and go for the Throat on the Faerie, or I guess not the word cost. Oh my gosh. Absolutely agonizing. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to block on the back end, because we have 5 life. And when the Connive ability goes off, when the Connive ability goes off, the Faerie Mastermind is going to draw us a card, and it's going to literally hurt us because of Shelly. So just do 4. I can't draw. I guess maybe I have to draw just to hope for like removal, spot removal. But then we lose more life. I don't know. Oh, this is agonizing. This is just absolutely agonizing. I can flash in Malcolm for like a blocker, I guess. Why, Raffine? Raffine, you dirty dog. Alright, so Shelly's gonna go up. We've got 6 life. If they swing in, I wonder if they know that. If they swing in, obviously the Dennet gives them lifelink too, but the Connive is gonna trigger the Faerie, and then the Faerie is gonna make us lose life. So I don't know. I think this is a little bit of poetic justice. I think I played pretty bad this whole video, so I think maybe this is the last match I'm gonna play just because I don't have much time. But I think this is poetic justice. I think this is like probably deserve this because we stuck away with a few of those wins when we didn't deserve it. And right now, I think we're just gonna have to just bite the bullet. Let's go for the Malcolm. I guess we could top deck removal, and then we have the Ego Drain to get rid of the other Shelly, but I think they even have the Restless Fortress as well, so let's untap our Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Let's not be Debbie Downers. Let's play through this. Yeah, and then I could come back as a flyer too. I think we're gonna go ahead and do this. Let's go for the Gix, go for the Dennet. I guess we'll kill it. If they want to tap out to play the Dennet, I guess we'll just have to live with that. They probably should have swung in with the Shelly as well. That dies, and they're just gonna play down the Dennet. I don't think we're gonna be able to get through, so we need a top deck removal for the Shelly. I think that's really the only way we can do it. And it has to be Faerie Fencing as well, because they can just give it lifelink. But Shelly's just gonna go through. I think it's a good game. We have no way of gaining life without giving them the Deep-Cavern Bat as well. So I think this is just GG's. Let's swing with the Deep-Cavern Bat just so that we can get another life. I think we're just gonna have to. So we give them the Urtai, but I don't see what else we can do. I mean, I'm gonna play this out as long as I can. So then it gives them Investigate. The reason I did that is I need at least one form of lifelink so that I can draw from Shelly. But if they attack again and go for Connive, the Faerie's gonna hit us again anyway, so. And the Urtai also forces us to draw. Let's go ahead and nothing to left the Ego Drain. Oh my gosh. Gain 2 life. That Raffine really is a fiend. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Swing in, and the Connive is going to activate my Faerie. So maybe I'll just try and trade the Faerie Mastermind. Yep. So even though they do this for the Connive, I was going to try and get in like a Faerie Fencing or something like that. But at this point, we're just going to lose on our draw stuff anyway. So GG's.